My submission for the maths coursework consists of three programs. The first being the passing requirements for the shapes. This is done with triangles, circles, and rectangles. The triangles are made up of three vertexes, and to draw the shape itself, a square is basically made around through the minimum and maximum x and y values that the triangle sits within. Each pixel within that is then tested against the inequalities of the lines. If they fulfill all three inequalities for the lines position 1 to position 2, position 2 to position 3, and position 3 back to position 1, then it's filled in. This means that I can animate things fairly easily by just moving said positions. The circles, on the other hand, are done with a position for the very center and a radius around it, so making it quite easy to animate these by just changing the radius or the position. Similarly, squares or rectangles are made by using a position and a width. This can be changed. Following that, the next program is a function grapher. This takes parametric equations and draws them to the screen using a t-value, which is the timer value increasing every frame of the animation. So each new line being drawn on this is a new t-value that is increasing for each frame. This again is just x equals some equation for t, y equals some other equation for t, and then that is being mapped onto the screen. Following that, lastly is the ray tracer. The ray tracer itself has several different scenes. The first is a simple camera control with WASD to move the camera in and out, using the numpad to rotate the camera, looking up and down, using 8 and 2 and 4 and 6 to move left and right. Next is a simple animation for just spheres and moving their sizes and rotations. This is done by rotating through a matrix. Similarly, pressing space will rotate the camera around the spheres. This is also done with a transformation matrix. Next is doing a similar thing with 3D models and spheres, and how shadows work with them. I'm using a rotation matrix to move the vertices on the model. Next is just a simple sphere that has no animation, and instead I'm moving the camera around it again. For instance, light is not being drawn on this side, so you can't see it, whilst on this side the light source is directly behind this closer sphere, and as such it's causing a shadow to be cast. Lastly is just drawing a simple cube. This again has animations depending on the if I'm rotating the camera around. This is again done by taking in a model file, breaking it up into triangles, and using those triangles to generate basically faces, seeing whether the rays collide and then bouncing them back off. That's it. Yeah.